Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Let's begin.
Yeah. So quickly, I'll just start with an introduction between the two of you. So Sudhanshu Grover is the head of educational services at Action for Autism, and today she will be the one who will be there for you to interview for your mobile app.
Okay.
Kathy and Rumpa, one of my other colleague, is also going to join, and will be staying just listening into the conversation to the interview.
Sure, ma'am. That'd be good.
If you could tell us about your project, that will be.
Okay. So, we're a team of 4 people
Just
right now.
briefly.
Yes, ma'am. We're a team of 4 people, and we're currently working on a mobile application. It's called Autistic. And just recently, I mean, yesterday we released our website. And so basically, our main aim is to work for this community of autistic people, wherein we help to understand the other people, understand about the facts about autism, get them the facts right, and what are the causes, what are the symptoms, is there any cure or not. And we have added a special section to our application and the website, which is Autistic Stories, wherein we tend to record interviews like these or stories from the people like parents or caretakers of people with autism, and we directly put it up on our website as well as YouTube channel. So this meeting that we are having right now is just a part of that autistic stories session, wherein we plan to interview individuals like you, and then we directly put it up on our YouTube channel so that the people, all of those people, be it the parents or the caretakers or the audience, they are able to get knowledge out of the meetings regarding this autism criteria. So that's what it is about.
Thanks, Ankit. So
Yes.
I think we can start.
Sure, ma'am, sure. Shall I start on with the first question?
Yeah. So
Sure,
how,
sure,
how,
go ahead.
yeah, how are you going to go about this? Are you going to ask questions and then I answer
Yes, ma'am.
those?
So actually,
Okay.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We've prepared a set of 6 questions, and those questions tend to extract the maximum possible output from you guys. So, right, it would be a process of conversation between us. So, I'd like to open up by saying that I'd like to know more about your organization, which is Action for Autism. So, I'd like to know about how does it operate and what was the principal motive behind it when it was started.
So, Tanvi, would you like to answer this or should I answer? I mean,
Sudhanshu, I'll be going for another meeting. If you could take up this.
okay. All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Ankit, basically, Action for Autism was started by Miss Mary Barua. She has a son who was autistic, and that is why basically because she found that the services that were there in India, there were none. There were no services that were available in India. So that is why this whole thing of starting an organization, it came up. And so basically, we are a parent organization. We are a not-for-profit organization, and our main motive is to basically empower people with autism and their families. And we hope that we are able to, through awareness and through training and through basically through awareness and training, we are able to sensitize people about autism, help autistic individuals, and such that they are able to live a fulfilling life. So basically that's the motive. You will be able to read our mission and vision statement on the website. So yeah.
Yes, ma'am, we did that, and that was pretty attractive, I must say. So, next question, please.
Uh, yes, ma'am. Ma'am, as you said that you are not a profit organization. So, ma'am, I wanted to ask, like, being one of the biggest organization currently working in the field of autism. So, ma'am, what was your first breakthrough? Like, how you managed the first breakthrough of your point?
So Naman, the thing is that initially, like I said, Mary is the one, our founder director. She is the one who started the organization. So she started with, writing some articles and stuff and posting about autism. People thought, that autism is a condition that happens only in the West and it doesn't happen in India. And
Mm.
to bring about awareness to, help people understand that autism exists. It exists everywhere. She started by,
Mm.
writing some articles and stuff for the papers and for the newspapers and all. And that's how she started. And gradually she got together some parents. They started, a kind of a school, and, you know, gradually
Mm.
they started more and more programs. So I think at every point there were breakthroughs. There's not a single breakthrough that we can talk about, but then
Yeah.
people kept joining in, other people started understanding, so most parents joined in when they realized that their own child has autism. They came forward, they joined hands, and so gradually it just built on. And so I cannot say of a single breakthrough. All of these are breakthroughs. We started with the day program. It started with the day
Mm.
program in 1994. And then, so it's almost like, more than 25 years that uh, the organization has been there. And then we started other programs. We started the outreach program for everyone. Everyone cannot be a part of the day program. So we started the outreach program. We started the parent child training program for empowering parents, because we strongly believe at AFA that there is nothing that a therapist does which a parent cannot do, right? Parents are equally capable of learning and can be real good therapists. Parents cannot keep going to therapists, and
Yeah.
so
Correct.
and so that is why the whole parent child training program was started, and parents then actually got trained. They started opening up their centers where they got that
Mm.
much training that they started helping other parents out in when they went back to their hometowns and all. So, so the parent child program was started, the program for the adults, the sheltered workshop was started, training of, trainings started. So, we started with the DAC program, Diploma in Special Education, and then we started with the DEd. So, Diploma in Special Education eventually stopped, but then we started with the DEd and the BEd program. So that's how, so
Okay.
all of these are breakthroughs. I cannot say just one breakthrough. There have been so many.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
It's been a pleasure to meet you. And since I know ma'am, this big organization requires many breakthroughs, and I mean, like, it gets tougher with time to manage this big organization. Like in this period, in this COVID period, it is even getting more tougher. So it is getting even more tough. And now, like, what kind of technology do you use with organization for people with ASD? Like, which apps educate and play? Like, is good these days? So,
Yeah,
what
so
kind of
we have
technology?
been, we have been using the Zoom platform. It's uh, so we are having online classes. Last April, we started with our online classes. So, like I said, we have a day program, we have the adult sheltered workshop. So, for those programs, basically, we have been using online. We have been using basically the Zoom platform. So that's the thing that we have using.
So, it's the only technological thing that you are using. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Uh, I'm like we are in our country, like any mental health is considered as a taboo. So, ma'am, what we can do to counter the taboo, which we still witness in many parts of the society, regarding autism or regarding any other issue or any other disorder?
So yeah, mental health continues to be a taboo, and uh, the only way I think one can counteract this taboo is by exposing people to autistic individuals. and people with other mental health conditions. So basically not keeping them inside the house, but actually taking them out. As parents, it's important for us to take them to, uh, the parks and other places in the community,
Mm.
the market, and taking them by a metro, taking them through a bus, so that people see that there are individuals like this. There are individuals who think in a different way, who may act in a certain way, which is different than um, the way other children or other people act. It's important
Yes, ma'am.
for autistic individuals to come up and speak about their condition, talk about their story, uh, so that
Mm.
people come to know that there are individuals, there are people like this. This is what, like, you were talking about your website,
Yes, ma'am.
and you said that we would want to clear, there are a lot of myths. So it's essential to clear those myths. So for people to come out and speak about it, talk about what it is really like to be autistic,
Mm.
so that these myths that are there around autism, they are cleared up. For people like you to come up together to start things like this,
Mm.
which is wonderful. To have a website like this, which is talking about where the services are available, talking about the condition, clearing out the myths, and clearing out, the things that people may have in mind, right? You're clearing that, what works, what doesn't work, whether there's a cure,
Yeah.
not a cure. So all of these things I think are very, very important for the taboo to be, removed, for people to think differently. I think these are
Yes,
some of the things that I wanted to talk
absolutely.
about.
Ma'am, my next question is, what is one common thing that is shared by all people autistic? What is common in between them that they share?
So basically, all autistic people are human people. The one common thing that they share is their diagnosis. So they're all, autistic. So the way they understand the world, the way they um, uh, make sense of the things around them, that is different. The way they communicate, um, the way they um, uh, the way their interests are, the way they socialize, the way they think, that's different. So a person who thinks differently, or say understands his environment differently, that doesn't, so basically all of these things together, they're in a person, then that person is, basically diagnosed autistic. So all of these differences are um, common to all autistic people.
Okay.
Okay. So, ma'am, another question that I wanted to ask to you is that, like people like you, individuals like you, and especially organizations like AFA who have been working and inspiring people since forever. So, how can we, a group of individuals who are 19 to 20 years old, so how can we as individuals bring about change in this community of autism or this autism world?
So I think, it's like I said, it's wonderful. Whatever you are doing in itself is wonderful, that you're coming forward, you're wanting to interact with people, you're wanting to start something up. That is wonderful. I think being open to differences in the community as well. So when you do go into the community, when you do find people who are moving in a different way, or speaking in a different way, the one thing that comes to mind is that this is bad, or this is, just look at this child, he seems to be misbehaving, um, he
Correct.
seems to be doing this he's a willful child. Parents have not been taking good care of this child, they're not teaching him, they're not teaching him how he needs to be. So that is something that immediately comes to mind when you see a child behaving differently, or when you see, a person who's running around. Automatically, that's how our brains work. We see difference as something bad, right? And And that is what
Mhm.
one really needs to change. So I think when one goes out and you see people like this, not to immediately conclude, but try and understand what is the reason why he's doing it. Try and understand whether he has a condition or not. Talking about, if there's so many people, like I would say, 23 years back, my own children were diagnosed autistic, and today morning I was talking to a parent whose child is diagnosed autistic. So I was basically doing a counseling session with them, and the thing is that 23 years back I had heard the word autism for the first time. Though I was a science student and I had done neurology and all of that, yet I had heard the word autism first time when my own children were diagnosed autistic, right? And this parent, after
Yes, ma'am.
20 years, the situation is the same. She hears the word autism for the first time when her child is diagnosed autistic. So though there has been a lot of awareness, there has been a lot of centers have opened up, uh, but yet it's not enough. Given the size of our country and the population that we have, it's still not enough, right? There are still people who hear the word autism for the first time when their own
Yes, ma'am.
children are diagnosed autistic. So long way. We have, we've come so far, but there is a lot of distance we still have to travel. So I think that's what you talk about when you talk about autism, help them go to the right place so that, most places, still think of curing autism. And
Yes, ma'am.
parents are draws parents because they want their child to be fixed. Because there is no awareness, they think that ये अलग सा है, ये कुछ अलग कर रहा है, इसको ठीक करो, right? So they trust doctors and, medically they try to approach this whole thing, right? And so they would require right guidance. So sending them to the right place, if ever you do find somebody, because it is fairly common. It's 1 in 54, rather even more. So you would find in 50, in a population of 50, you will have one or maybe more than one autistic. So you're going to meet somebody. You would have certainly met someone, and you are going to meet someone. So talk about it, help them understand, send them to the right place. So these are some of the things that maybe one can do.
Definitely, ma'am. So one little quick question: if you were supposed to, just select one thing or one element in a particular product or software or application, which you can think that it can really benefit this community on a larger extent. So what would be that one particular element that you wish to see? Like we have designed a website and we're working on an application. So what is the one thing that according to you would benefit the whole community in the form of application or website?
Yeah, so it's very difficult to say which one application. I'll talk about two very, very briefly, if that's okay. If I can talk about two.
Definitely, ma'am.
Okay, so one is that, like I was saying, autistic individuals, the way they communicate is different. And, there are some autistic individuals who do not speak at all. There are some who do speak, but may not be able to communicate effectively. There are some individuals who are able to communicate, who have speech, but when they are stressed or when they are overwhelmed, they may not be able to speak. Right? So basically, have a system where one is able to communicate, because the AC is the alternative and augmentative modes of communication. There are lots which are available in the market. Just yesterday, I was seeing one. So there are lots that are available. Unfortunately, most of these applications have been devised abroad, and so you basically press buttons and someone speaks, right? This is it is these are all very westernized in that way. So the tone of voice is Western, the pictures are Western. So something that can be individualized according to the Indian requirement, what really works for us. Also there are some free ones that are available, like the one that I was seeing yesterday. It's available in Hindi. Unfortunately, the ones that are free, you cannot individualize. Now, every person on the spectrum is very different from the other, right? So what works
Yes,
for
ma'am.
one person may not work for another person. So if I give a device and I say, okay, you also use it, and you also use it, and you also use it, it doesn't work like that. So if we need to individualize, those apps are expensive. They're really out of the reach of many individuals, whereas those which are free
Definitely.
cannot be customizable. So if an app, which is available on the Android, which is, which can just be there on the person's phone, and it's individualized, it can be according to that person's child's needs, that would be wonderful. So that would be one application that I can think of. The other that I can think of is, we usually talk about the 5 sense organs, and in addition to the 5 sense organs, there are 3 internal sense organs which we usually don't talk about, right? And so one of them is the interoception, which is responsible for telling about the internal body states. Now, for most individuals, so basically, like, so when you're tired, or say when you're hungry, or when you are getting angry, all of these internal body states we come to know about our internal body states through this sense, the interoception, right? Now, what happens in autism is that sometimes this interoception may be muted, right? For some individuals, this may be muted. So they may not be able to sense that they're getting hungry, right? Or they may not be able to sense that they're beginning to get angry. And then they'll be so they're at a level where there is no anger, and suddenly they're at that level where they're completely into there is a complete meltdown that's happening, right? So to be able to figure out, right, that there is this build up happening. So there are these those smart watches with those or those Fitbits you get, where the heart rate begins to show, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
But when there's no notification that comes that your heart rate is increasing. One really needs to go into your watch and see whether your heart rate is increasing or not. So there's some kind of a beep or something which says that, okay, now this buildup is happening, you got to take care of, your heart rate is increasing, means you're beginning to get angry, you would want to calm. If that kind of a system is available, then that would also be very helpful, because what people usually see is that it's known, it's very commonly said that autistic people have behaviors, but then it's not that they want to have behaviors, but that's because they are not able to understand that this build up inside me is happening, and I need to relax myself so that I don't have this. So if something like that can be thought of, that is the other thing that I can think of.
That's a very nice idea, ma'am, actually. So that was the set of questions that we planned to ask you. And I'll say that was a very fruitful meet, because all of the things that you shared to us would keep that in our minds. And I think that's so very well. So now I'd be sharing the website link for our website so you guys can check it out. And there's a special section known as Autistic Stories. So I'm very sure that all of you must be having pretty much stories about, your organization or the people residing there. So you can just go there and put your stories up. And actually, we're planning to start a little sort of campaign wherein we would choose the best stories out of the submitted stories, and would interview that person on whom the story is about. So now I'll be sharing the links. This is the link of our website, ma'am. So then you can check out the website, all the information stuff, as well as the stories content. So that was it from our side, and thank you all for connecting.
Thank you, Ankit. Thank you, everyone. It was wonderful talking to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot.